Wow.
So I feel like somehow he was tipped off because he had a show about this SCOTUS list that was very, very well. Like, you could tell he was totally prepared for this.
Maybe he was tipped off in the sense that I'm going to come out with a list, a SCOTUS list. So if you want to get ready, get prepared for
I almost
a show.
feel like he was tipped off several days.
Oh, okay.
And so in preparation, Sean Hannity started reaching out to all kinds of justices and all that kind of stuff who would have been able to comment intelligently using their own experience on these people in this list.
Right.
And they did.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And they all had glowing praises for the list as a conservative. So this, you're listening to Smith Radio at smithradio.com. We are on every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are on Facebook.com/Smith Radio. By the way, Smith is spelled S-M-Y-T-H. We are also on Twitter at Smith Radio, which is S-M-Y-T-H-R-A-D-I-O. And our phone number, if you want to call in, is 513-888-1538. That's 513-888-1538.
And we're talking about Donald Trump's SCOTUS pick on Sean Hannity.
Yeah, he had 11 name. You know, the names. The only name I would have even thought maybe I would know anything about or have any comment on would have been the Lee pick, which is Mike Lee's brother, who is Mike Lee is a Tea Party favorite. He's a name that's been brought up way back when the Tea Party was going crazy and really popular and all that kind of stuff. But it turns out any constitutional conservative out there who would do some research on these 11 names were just really happy with it.
Right. And some of the articles that I'm reading, and Breitbart, who's posted an article, Trump's Supreme Court list, a conservative goldmine.
Exactly. That's awesome. I mean, what else can you say with a headline like that?
I mean, how much more? I just don't. I mean, how much more can you say about it? And for anybody who is a constitutionalist and someone who followed Ted Cruz at one time and is not following it anymore because he's not running for president, he is running for the Senate, so you might want to support him there. But if you are a constitutionalist, you're a party member, you're into the you agree with the Federalist and the Federalist Papers and how our country was put together. In order to change this country, we need to change the SCOTUS. We need to change the Supreme Court justices. We need to put that back to where they don't write law. They don't redefine words.
Or ignore the text of a law in order. That's what they're doing. When somebody looks at one of the simplest and easy to follow rights that we have in the Bill of Rights is the Second Amendment. It's like the shortest. It doesn't use words that could be considered antiquated other than militia. But even if you ignore the militia thing, is only the reason you have to willfully ignore simple reading comprehension to come up with some of the dissents of the DC versus Heller case in order to throw that out. And that's what they're doing. There are Supreme Court justices who are saying, I know what it says. I know what it says, but I don't care. And they're just literally ignoring the words of the Constitution in order to rule against the Constitution. So, and that's not what judges are supposed to do. The judges are supposed to interpret the law as written.
Right. And Ruth Bader Grim Reapersburg, which she came out and with her thought process on redefining the word marriage, and we here at Smith Radio have given them a word. It's called garage.
Right.
Because you can't redefine a word.
And we told you why. The reason why you can't redefine a word is because these words are used in legal documents. You are literally
the legal document that I have with my wife no longer exists because the word marriage does not mean what we agreed it to mean.
Or if it does exist, let's say that you're still bound to that. You're bound to something you didn't agree with.
Right, I didn't agree to that. Yes, I didn't agree to that definition of the word marriage.
And by the way, who's to say marriage is no longer between a man and a woman when we're not even allowed to define? Oh, we're into gender weeds here.
We are in the gender gilded age where you should now just not even care.
I mean, what
about gender?
We can't even define a man and a woman anymore.
No, that is constitutionally illegal, according to the redefining of the word marriage by the Supreme Court justices. You are no longer allowed.
I feel like going up to somebody who wants me to address them in the proper gender pronoun by deliberately calling them what they don't want to be called, just because my First Amendment rights give me the right to do that.
Yes!
And dare them to sue me for it.
Oh, and they are. They're suing more bakeries. They're looking for bakeries everywhere.
What is with that?
They're obsessed with bakeries.
Maybe they like food or something. Do they like baked goods, or they not? Is it that they hate baked goods?
I think it's a war on bakers.
That's the new campaign thing.
The war on bakers.
Yes. What is with this war on bakers?
Right. And why do we have to have all these wars?
Oh, man.
And so here's the sound clip of Trump.
They're warmongers. That's what it is.
They're warmongers. Absolutely.
Yep, that's what it is.
War on women, war on bakers, war on everything, war on poverty.
War on drugs.
How's that going? War on poverty. I'm not trying to go off. Yeah, war on drugs. How's that going?
All these wars are just, they're quagmires. Right. the quagmire on drugs.
Yikes. So Trump was hanging out with Hannity, and this is how this went.
We're very close to the delegates, and the thing that makes me most happy in the history of the Republican Party, nobody has ever gotten this many votes. So.
Okay, just a little side note on that. Did you hear that? Okay.
Still a lot of states to go.
And we have a lot to go. So it's been such an honor. It's been a lot of fun. It must be because I do your show.
I think it's a big part of it. That's what I may agree with you on that
feeling.
Today was a very big day. You have a list of names.
I do.
And you had talked to me for a while now about releasing these names.
So he did.
Your judicial philosophy. You said you wanted originalists. You said you wanted people like Antonin Scalia and Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court.
It's true.
Tell us about this list of names.
Well, I've been having a lot of feedback from a lot of different people, and I've had, as you know, tremendous endorsements, and I'm a conservative, and I may have different views on different things, and I think I'm extremely conservative, as an example, on trade. But a conservative would say I'm not, because I don't necessarily believe only in free trade. You know what I believe on trade is good deals for the United States.
Fair trade.
Well, somebody said to me, what is your view on trade? I said, my view is good deals for the United States. It's a very simple view. And if you can call it conservative, call it whatever you want. But so with the judges, they were saying, well, what happens if he appoints the wrong judges? And what we did, and I just have it, we just took a list of judges, and I thought what I would do is put this forward, and this would be the list that I would either choose from or pick people very close in terms of the spirit and the meaning.
He's a liar!
Of what they represent, and of course...
Did you hear what he said? Did you just
Clearly he flip-flopped. He's a total liar.
He flip-flopped. He came out with the list the day before. Then he shows up on Hannity, and he flip-flops. He says, I'll go by this list, or maybe I won't.
Liar.
Liars.
Anyway.
Justice Scalia is mentioned in here as right up front as being just one of our great judges and one of our great justices. And I came up with a list. The Federalist Society was very much involved.
Look at that.
Various people were involved. As you know, Jeff Sessions is, to me, somebody that I have great respect for.
It's gotten very good reviews from its immediate release.
It's gotten great reviews. The people that have seen it.
So one of the big things that the Cruz supporters or the Never Trump people are trying to say is he don't know any of these people. This was just drawn up by some conservatives, and he said, okay, I'll take it to pander to the conservatives and get the Never Trump Cruz crew people to say, oh, well, maybe I'll rethink it and go ahead and vote Trump. But really, in reality, he's going to put all the progressives on there, and this list is just a big red herring and all this kind of stuff. And here's what the big one was. I'll bet you if you asked him to tell us about any of those people, he wouldn't be able to tell you word one about them. He don't know none of them.
Liar.
So, but here's the thing. He just said he got Jeff Sessions involved. I don't expect Trump to know any justices.
No, I don't.
We're talking we have 50
except
states.
the ones he paid off. Because that's what they say. That's how he got rich. He paid people off.
Okay, so
it was jokes for the masses.
Yeah, you got to pander to the Cruz crew every once in a while, right? So anyway, no, I don't expect. We got 50 states, and out of these 50 states, we have several or a bunch.
I'm saying probably
of Supreme Court justices.
Okay.
And by the way, what was pointed out to me, which was remarkable, because I don't know this stuff either. Because we don't get to see new Supreme Court justices pop up very often, because they have to die or retire, and usually they're in their 90s or something.
They're desperately trying to get rid of Ruth Bader
Ginsburg, so that way Obama gets to choose several more.
Because her and the Grim Reaper are hanging out having drinks.
Oh, they are having massive drinks. They are. They've
Sipping
been
the
seen
martinis.
together. They have been seen together way too much lately.
Yes.
So the big thing is that Trump doesn't know these people. And I'm like, look, I don't expect him to know these people. I want somebody that knows what the hell they're doing to pick these people. I want somebody who knows these people to pick them. And for you to expect Trump, who's just a very successful business tycoon, to all of a sudden know the very best 11 potential conservative justices to choose from, you're an idiot. You're an idiot to think that Trump would know these people.
Well, and the thing is the reason why I love the way Trump is going at this, non politician style. He's going at this as a businessman. If he wanted to start a business tomorrow, making widgets, which it doesn't matter what it is, it is. If he wanted to go in business making widgets and he had no idea what they were, but he
knew that they were going to turn a profit.
He saw the trend, and it's trending with the Utes. He's like, hey, this is trending. This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry. I want a piece of that. Who do I call that knows who's the best person in this industry right now? Get him in front of me. Get him now.
That is so awesome. I got a great, awesome analogy that is a one-to-one analogy with your analogy. Mark Cuban. Most people, a vast majority of people, have no idea how he made it big.
I do. I saw the documentary behind him.
Okay, well,
go ahead.
I may have actually. I know I've said it on this program before, how he's come to be. He was just some guy that was, saw the internet as a potential gold mine. He's not a programmer. He's just into tech stuff. And he's a huge sports fan. And he wanted to be able to follow sports teams on the internet. And at the time, all he had to rely on was updates on web pages.
Right.
So there'd be an update. The Dallas Mavericks are up 107 to 97 in the fourth quarter with X amount of time remaining. And he'd have to refresh the page.
And it might even be over by the time you see that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're getting...
It might be 15 minutes late.
And if the webmaster falls asleep and forgets to update,
he's not updating.
You may not ever get the final score for a long time, right? But it was nice that you could be anywhere in the world if you have an internet access. You can get it. Well, he found a guy who was able to figure out how to stream audio over the internet. And you could actually listen to the local sportscaster in real time announce your favorite sports team that you can listen to anywhere in the world. So if you were in Japan serving your country in the Marines and you're on base and you had an internet access, you could potentially, if somebody were to develop this, listen to the UC Bearcats through the internet using your local sportscaster.
Right.
Okay. Mark Cuban said, oh my gosh, this is a gold mine. So he teamed up with this guy who had this technology and started doing it. And this was right at the peak of the .com bubble. Wow. And Yahoo stock was going through the roof. It was like 250